The phrase "both sides of the line" refers to the hot, also known as the live, wire, and the neutral, sometimes referred to as the ground, wire in an electrical circuit. In a standard electrical system, electricity is carried through two primary wires, the hot wire and the neutral wire. The hot wire's function is to carry the current from the power source to the electrical device. Conversely, the neutral wire conducts the current back to the power source, completing the circuit. When the instructions specify fusing on both sides of the line, it means that a fuse or a circuit breaker element must be installed on both the hot wire and the neutral wire. This requirement is typically met by using a double-pole circuit breaker in the electrical panel. A double-pole circuit breaker is designed with two switches that operate in unison, simultaneously interrupting both the hot and neutral wires when an overcurrent or short circuit condition occurs and the circuit is tripped. The practice of fusing both sides of the line is a safety measure. It ensures that both the hot and neutral wires are protected from the dangers of overloads and short circuits. This dual protection significantly reduces the risk of electrical fires and other potential hazards. In practical terms, when installing the Rangehood, it's crucial to follow these instructions meticulously. Firstly, identify the circuit breaker in your electrical panel that will supply power to the Rangehood. Secondly, ensure that the circuit breaker is a double-pole type, meaning it has two switches that are mechanically linked. Thirdly, connect the hot wire from the Rangehood to one of the poles on the circuit breaker. Fourthly, connect the neutral wire from the Rangehood to the other pole on the same circuit breaker. This arrangement guarantees that both the hot and neutral wires are individually protected. If either wire experiences an overcurrent condition, the double-pole breaker will trip, disconnecting both wires simultaneously. This differs from a single-pole breaker which only interrupts the hot wire, leaving the neutral wire potentially energized. Local electrical codes also play a significant role in determining the appropriate fuse or circuit breaker size. These codes are in place to ensure electrical safety and prevent hazards. The serial or rating plate located inside the Rangehood near the field wiring compartment provides crucial information about the unit's electrical requirements. The rating plate specifies the voltage, amperage, and wattage of the Rangehood. This information is essential for selecting the correct fuse or circuit breaker size. For example, if the rating plate indicates that the Rangehood requires 120 volts and draws a maximum of 10 amps, you would typically choose a 15 amp time delay fuse or circuit breaker. The time delay characteristic is important because Rangehood motors can draw a higher current initially when starting up. A standard fuse might trip unnecessarily during this startup phase, while a time delay fuse can handle the brief surge without interrupting the circuit. It is important to note that electrical codes vary by location. Always consult with a qualified electrician or your local building inspector to ensure that your installation complies with all applicable regulations. Ignoring these codes can lead to unsafe conditions, potential fines, and voiding of your homeowner's insurance. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is strongly recommended that you hire a licensed electrician to perform the installation. Electricians have the training, experience, and tools to safely and correctly install the Rangehood, ensuring that it meets all electrical code requirements. Moreover, they can identify any potential issues with your existing wiring and make necessary repairs or upgrades. A qualified electrician will also be able to properly ground the Rangehood. Grounding provides an additional safety measure by creating a low resistance path for fault current to flow back to the electrical panel. This helps to prevent electrical shock in the event of a fault. The grounding wire is typically a bare copper wire or a green insulated wire that is connected to a grounding screw on the Rangehood and to the grounding bar in the electrical panel. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. Additionally, it's worth noting that some Rangehoods may have specific wiring instructions or requirements that differ from the general guidelines. Always refer to the manufacturer's instructions for the Rangehood you are installing. These instructions may provide additional details about wiring, fusing, and grounding. Following the manufacturer's instructions is crucial for ensuring that the Rangehood operates safely and correctly. Ignoring these instructions can lead to damage to the Rangehood, electrical hazards, or voiding of the warranty. When connecting the wires, use appropriately sized wire connectors. Wire connectors, such as wire nuts or crimp connectors, are used to securely join the wires together. The size of the wire connector should be appropriate for the gauge of the wires being connected. Using the wrong size wire connector can lead to loose connections, which can cause overheating, arcing, and electrical fires. Ensure that the wire connectors are properly tightened to provide a secure connection. Periodically check the connections to ensure that they remain tight. Loose connections can develop over time due to vibration or thermal expansion and contraction. Also, ensure that all wiring is properly routed and secured to prevent damage. Avoid running wires across sharp edges or in areas where they could be pinched or crushed. Use cable clamps or straps to secure the wiring to the wall or ceiling. This will prevent the wires from being pulled or damaged, which could lead to electrical hazards. Before working on any electrical circuit, always turn off the power at the circuit breaker. This will prevent electric shock. Use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is de-energized before touching any wires. Even after turning off the circuit breaker, there may still be residual voltage in the circuit. A voltage tester will confirm that the circuit is completely de-energized before you begin working. If you are unsure about any aspect of the installation, consult with a qualified electrician. Electricity can be dangerous, and it is always better to err on the side of caution. A qualified electrician can provide expert advice and ensure that the installation is performed safely and correctly. Remember that electrical codes and regulations are constantly evolving. Stay up to date on the latest changes to ensure that your electrical installations are in compliance. You can find information about electrical codes and regulations from your local building department, the National Electrical Code (NEC), and other industry resources. Investing in electrical safety is an investment in your home and your family. By following proper wiring practices, using appropriate safety devices, and consulting with qualified professionals, you can significantly reduce the risk of electrical hazards. If the Rangehood is equipped with a light, ensure that the light bulb is properly installed and that it is the correct wattage. Using a light bulb that is too high wattage can cause overheating and damage to the Rangehood. Replace the light bulb as soon as it burns out to ensure adequate lighting. Clean the Rangehood regularly to prevent grease buildup. Grease buildup can reduce the efficiency of the Rangehood and create a fire hazard. Clean the filters and the interior of the Rangehood regularly with a degreasing cleaner. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for cleaning and maintenance. Inspect the Rangehood regularly for any signs of damage or wear. Check the wiring, the fan, and the other components for any signs of wear or damage. If you notice any problems, have them repaired promptly. A malfunctioning Rangehood can be a safety hazard. Ensure proper ventilation when using the Rangehood. The Rangehood is designed to remove smoke, grease, and odors from the air. Ensure that the Rangehood is properly vented to the outside to prevent these contaminants from being recirculated into the kitchen. Do not block the vents of the Rangehood. Blocking the vents can reduce the efficiency of the Rangehood and create a fire hazard. Keep the area around the Rangehood clear of obstructions. Obstructions can prevent the Rangehood from working properly and can create a fire hazard. If you have any questions or concerns about the Rangehood, contact the manufacturer or a qualified electrician. They can provide expert advice and assistance. Remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By taking the necessary precautions, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and keep your home and family safe. In summary, fusing both sides of the line with a double pulse circuit breaker protects both the hot and neutral wires from overloads and short circuits, significantly reducing the risk of electrical fires. Always consult local electrical codes and the Rangehood's installation instructions, and when in doubt, hire a qualified electrician. This approach ensures a safe and compliant installation, safeguarding your home and family.